All right.
Okay.
We are officially live on YouTube on the Don't Sleep on Special Teams official YouTube channel. So let me get this and send out some go live notifications.
Do it.
Let's see. It's going to give me a second. Let's see. What the heck? Why is it not? It's showing that it's live, but it's also like not showing that it's live.
That's weird.
Yeah. Maybe because like I literally insta just went live. So I'll give it a second.
All right.
Some technical difficulties. What else is new? There we go. There we go. I got it going. All right, perfect. All right. I'm about to send out a tweet that's literally going to be in all caps. All right, perfect. We are officially good to go right now. Let me just do one last thing. So, Tony, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for football tomorrow night?
I am number 10. Even though I only have a kicker going.
Not the solo, not the kicker only.
Yeah, Harrison Bucker. Yep.
Yeah, dude, you sniped him from me. I'm not going to lie, dude. I was literally going to pick him, and you took him right before me.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Tags, NFL, football, fantasy football, betting. All right. Sports. All right, boom, done. I think we're ready to. We're officially rocking and rolling right now. All right, so as usual, I mean, I think this is 3 years in a row you've kicked off the simulcast with me.
I think it is. I think it is the 30 in a row. Correct?
Yeah, because I know last year you took on a bigger role on the cast and did a lot of shows. You're doing that again, doing that again this year, which is super appreciative and awesome. It honestly makes the show better with more continuity, so that's why I like it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's really fun being on for sure.
Oh yeah, and plus you and I could talk sports forever.
Yep. Sports.
Literally.
WWE.
Sports and wrestling, baby. Sports and wrestling.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
Imagine if I did a wrestling podcast too.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be pretty cool.
It would be cool, but I would have had to have started it like 4 years ago. But anywho, let's get back on track. Pretty much everyone's already had their fantasy football drafts. Obviously we know like the Josh Allens, the Pat Mahomes, the Jalen Hurts, like like those guys are the top guys in, for their respective positions. I kind of wanted to brush over a little bit some of those like second tier guys. Like for me, I mean, you're looking at like the C.J. Strouds, the Jared Goffs,
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray's, Matthew Stafford, healthy Justin Herbert. But I kind of want to talk about those for like fantasy implications, just because there's a lot of interesting things. Like, so Dak will probably be a top 5 guy. What do you think? Do you think Jordan Love is going to be in that like tier 2 list, or do you think he's
gonna? I think he's gonna do what he did last year. He's gonna suck for a little bit, and then he's gonna go on a hot streak,
Start out
and
slow.
then he's probably gonna finish in the 8 to 10 range, something like that.
Okay. I mean, completely respectable. Um, I honestly, another guy who's kind of tier two, I have a little bias on him, but for specific reasons. You did not hear any of them, which I'll explain. But um, yeah, Jared Goff was kind of like a tier two guy last year. I think he makes that jump. If not, he's like number six for quarterback. Because
Hmm.
Jared Goff, 13 of his first 14 games are in a dome this year.
Hmm.
So it's like he has one game. Let me pull it up. Because it's home against the Rams Dome, home against Tampa Dome, at Arizona Dome, home versus Seattle Dome, at Dallas Dome, at Minnesota Dome, home versus Tennessee Dome, at Green Bay outside game. That could be
Yeah.
interesting. Home at Houston Dome, home versus Jacksonville Dome, at Indy Dome, home versus Chicago Dome, home versus Green Bay Dome, and then you got playoffs, which would be
Yeah.
home versus Buffalo, at Chicago, at San Fran.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I just
Avoiding some of those rain games definitely helps,
oh yeah,
especially like Detroit's O line's really good. He has a great tight end, elite receiver. So yeah,
yeah,
that's actually really big.
yeah, and that's why I was in a Discord call with a bunch of the guys Monday night in the draft, and when I drafted him where I did, I was like, well, I said like 2 rounds prior, I go, this one guy I've been eyeing, I hope no one yoinks him, and then Fandy
Hmm.
made a comment about like someone on his team, um, and I was like that he was on his team last year, and I was like, no, it's someone completely different. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so that's why I had him. I think he is going to make a push for top five QB, but um, I do think he overall is like gonna be like leading the charge on those tier two quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's gonna have a pretty high floor as well because he has good weapons that always drives up your floor. So yeah, he's in a good spot.
Absolutely. Um, any other quarterbacks you think that might be like kind of that you're kind of like thinking that's gonna be, really take charge and be in that like tier two echelon for quarterbacks this year?
I mean, the guy I took, I think, is gonna make a jump. I think Kyler Murray.
Oh, yep.
He obviously has a pretty high floor because he runs a lot, and I think getting Marvin Harrison helps a lot. And I think Trey McBride's also gonna do really good this year. So he has more weapons this year than he did in a while, and I think he's gonna bounce back up towards that like not quite elite, but like right below, and he's gonna have a high floor.
No, yeah. I mean, I the thing with Kyler is you're gonna need to make sure his like you're gonna rely on his run game. That's what
Yep.
like that's where because if he's not running and scrambling, I don't think he's a tier two quarterback.
No, I agree. That's what I'm
Yeah.
betting that he's also gonna run a lot. But
Okay.
we
Yeah.
just have to hope he doesn't get hurt.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Then like so I think Kyler, Goff, Jordan Love, and C.J. Stroud are gonna kind of round out like those tier two. Maybe Tua
Hmm.
if he starts off really hot again. I think those will be like the tier
Yeah.
two guys. Um, so let's kind of pivot over to wide receivers. This one's gonna be a lot um more interesting. Like obviously CD, Tyreek, Amon Ra, um,
Oh yeah.
Mike Evans, AJ Brown. Those are the tier one. Jamar's, Debo, Devonte Adams, maybe still tier one, but
No,
I'm
I'd
looking.
say Devontae.
But Devontae's one of those declining guys, so I wouldn't consider him. Like he's kind of like at a different tier. There's like a 1A 1B. Then you have the true tier twos. You have like the like Puka Nakua, DJ Moore, Nico Collins, um, maybe Michael Pittman, Amari Cooper, Olave.
Yep, I have him. Hmm.
Would you say Jordan Addison might be a tier two guy that you would like want to focus on, or do you think because of quarterback controversy, not controversy, or just lack of quarterback?
Not with the QB, not with the QB situation. In Minnesota, although he could do well week 1, he's playing the Giants.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anyone facing the Giants will probably have a good week.
Mm-hmm.
George Pickens, do you think he's a tier 2 guy?
Tier 2. No, I think he's gonna just miss out because
I think he's
I don't
just
think.
gonna. I think he's just gonna squeeze in because Russ and Justin Fields are both better than Kenny Pickett, even though they're both bad, but they're better than.
Yeah, still though.
Yeah.
I don't see it making that big of a difference.
Yeah. Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, Zay Flowers, Romeo Dubes.
Godwin, absolutely not.
You think he's done?
No, I don't think he's done. I think he's significantly overvalued. He was awful. I had him last year. He was awful.
I think I had him because his 22 stats were a little bit better. Ironically, he was ranked 74th overall between like every position in the last 2 years, but he just had 20 less receptions, he had one more yard. No way these stats are correct. 2022 only had 3 touchdowns.
I think Godwin had like one. He didn't score till like week 8, and I had him. He was.
Well, yeah, last year he only had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he didn't score till like week 8. I think he didn't score till like week 8, and then he had one game where he had like 11 catches for 130, and he got stopped at the 1, and I was pissed, and I lost because of that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. All right, moving forward. Wide receiver is kind of crapshoot. There's gonna be people that are just gonna be like emerging for like 3-4 weeks at a time and then disappearing for like 3-4 weeks at a time. The next one, the running back slot. There's I'm gonna just the top 20 on Yahoo, the top 25. I'm gonna rattle them off and tell me tier 1, 2, or 3. All right.
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey.
1.
Raheem Mostert.
He's gonna get hurt, so he's gonna get hurt by week 3.
First you say Kyle Pitts is gonna get hurt, which happens. Now you're saying Raheem.
Yeah, so that's gonna make Devin Akane like well up there.
Yeah. All right, Brees Hall, 1, 2, or 3.
Tier 1.
Travis Etienne.
He's tier 1. I had him pretty high ranked.
Kyron.
Tier 2.
I agree with you. Joe Mix.
Tier 2.
Yeah. Rashad White.
I think he might regress a little. High tier 3.
Wow, I'm gonna say high tier 2. He was running back 7 last year. Well, he was. It's like that's not a dispute. Like
no, I know.
He was literally running back 7.
Maybe a little higher. I gotta go a little higher.
Yeah.
24. Yeah. I'm gonna go a little higher.
Yeah, I mean, he might be like mid to low tier 2, but yeah, I don't think he's. All right, Derrick Henry. Tier 2. That's my opinion.
Yeah, high tier 2.
He's on the downswing because last year with me having him at home had the lead or they were losing, he played well. On the road, if the Titans went down, he got completely written out of the script. And it just proved like he could not like just will the team. So he started splitting reps. Him and Tajay had literally the same amount of carries by the end of the season in the regular season, 535, which is
oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, Bijan.
Bijan is tier 1.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
High tier 2. Demon's still there.
Yep. James Cook.
Tier 2. I think he's overhyped this year.
Saquon.
Tier 1.
Yep, I agree with you. He actually has an O-line this year. I mean, all his years with the Giants, he'd have to break 2 tackles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. So I think with a good offensive line this year, he's probably going to be tier 1. Dave Montgomery.
Who?
Dave Montgomery. Demont.
High,
I say
high tier 3. Like he'll be like 25.
I say tier
Like,
2.
that's fair.
I mean, just because they're gonna, him and Jameer are split 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Jameer getting a little more work.
Yeah, if he stays healthy.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get a little. I think it's gonna be a little more towards him.
Yeah. Tony Pollard.
um, tier 3,
Alvin Kamara.
tier 2.
Low tier 2 in my opinion. He's getting up there in age.
Okay.
He's getting up there.
Yeah, I know. But...
Yeah, I know you drafted him, but Isaiah Pacheco.
Tier 2, and he's like a lock for tier 2
Yeah.
because the Andy Reid offense.
Oh yeah, James Conner.
Tier 2.
Jerome Ford.
When does Chubb come back?
Earliest week 8.
Okay.
And if, I mean, dude, his leg did a 360. So like, even when he does come back, I don't know. Who knows what Chubb is gonna be?
I know. High tier 3, like high.
I say low tier 2, just because I feel like he's a lot. He's a lock for like at least 10 weeks to have bulk share.
That's true, yeah, but I mean, if you're not in the playoffs or like towards the end, it's like, you know.
No, I agree with you.
But that's fair.
Oh my god. Sorry for the distraction, but Bobby just sent in the group chat. It was me and my friends did a chaos draft last night, NFL, NHL, NBA, all at the same time. Here's how it went. It's fantasy sports, and you just have 3 leagues going at once in fantasy.
That's psychotic. Holy shit.
Yeah. I gotta look into that after the draft, after the cast. But all right, Kenneth Walker.
I think he's gonna do really good if he gets the bulk of the work. I think he's high tier 2.
I'd say mid tier 2 just because of his injury history. And the problem with the NFL is, I mean, even like Gronk, arguably the best ever at his position, you just could never count on him to play a complete fantasy season. You figured there'd be at least 1 or 2 games he's not going to play. And that's how that's how I'm starting to feel about Kenneth Walker, because every year he's been in the league, he's missed at least 2 to 3 games because of injuries.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
What about Najee?
Oh. No. I don't care. He stinks. Tier 3.
DeAndre Swift.
Oh, he's gonna be very up and down this year.
I say tier 2, probably low.
Yeah.
A chain.
Low tier 1.
Wow. Okay.
I can't say Mostert's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
In the season.
That's true. No, I respect it. Brian Robinson. Still in Washington.
Yeah, I know.
I hate to say it, but
low tier 2, high tier 3.
I'm just gonna flat out say tier 3.
Okay.
Gus Edwards.
He's splitting with J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins probably isn't gonna play that much.
Yeah.
And Jim Harbaugh likes to pound the rock. High tier 3.
All right. And to round it off, Jaylen Warren.
He's going to be in the same spot as Najee. He's going to be in tier 3.
All right. Now, let's go to tight ends. It's kind of interesting because you kind of got your 3-headed monster at the top with Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce, George Kittle. Who are 3 tight ends that you like for fantasy-wise this year?
Besides that, King in Atlanta, I like, other than the top 3, I like Evan Ingram.
Okay.
I like Trey McBride,
Uh-huh.
and I like what's his name, and I like Kittle.
All right. Well, Kittle's in the top three. I said
Oh, he's
Kels,
what?
Kittle, and Laportal are like the three-headed
Oh,
monsters.
Kittle. Okay, I'm sorry. Not my bad.
No, you're good.
Oh, Evan. Okay, then Evan Ingram, Trey McBride, and if he stays healthy, I'll go Mark Andrews.
Okay, all right. So for me, it's similar. I have Evan Ingram. I have, well,
Mm-hmm.
I technically have four. I have Ingram, but like he's just like that savvy vet. So it's like he's gonna have quiet weeks, but he'll
Yep.
also just consistently get you 5 for 60. Um, but yeah, Evan
Mm-hmm.
Ingram, Njoku. I like Cole Kmet this year too, which he's probably gonna be someone that's gonna be
Yeah.
he's gonna be on the wire in a lot of leagues. That's why I like him. I feel like he's gonna be that safety net for Caleb Williams, who's going to check down to Cole Kmet, like just
Yep.
on like 2nd and 9, and he can't. His first reads doesn't work. All right, let me check down to Cole Kmet. Let me check down to Cole Kmet. There might be a game where
Yep.
Cole Kmet has 10 catches for like 48 yards on all check downs. And then
Yep.
I think this year Jake Ferguson is going to erupt.
Yeah, he could do really good this year for sure.
Yeah. Um.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, and then outside of that, stash Isaiah Likely and maybe even like Mike Gesicki, because Gesicki's on the Bengals, which if that team gets hot, everyone eats. And then
yep.
Isaiah Likely, just because of Mark Andrews, like that injury last year was pretty gnarly for him. He missed what, most of the season,
Yeah.
so it's something to look for in that. But um, and then I mean kickers and defense, it's kind of a week by week scenario. As much as I hate to say it, but kickers kickers and defense, like trying to stream them against the Giants, the Patriots, the Commanders, even the Cardinals. I think Cardinal games primarily for kickers because I maybe not so much defense because I think those are going to be high scoring affairs. Those Cardinal games.
Oh yeah. They're like just good enough that they can keep up, but the Arizona defense is worse, so you'll
Yeah,
lose.
yeah, absolutely. Um, but yeah, I kind of want to go over a little bit of fantasy talk that this week. Really not much to go over for that. Let's now kind of sift through all of the matchups this week. This is going to be the only week where we do all the matchups going forward. We're just gonna pick like next week. You and I, we each pick like two games that we liked from this past week, and then we'll pick two games we're looking forward to for week two. But because week one, there's really hasn't there literally hasn't been anything. I'll just go through all of it. We kind of say what we like and what we don't, who we like in the game, who we don't like, and then we'll pivot over to some of our bold predictions and our three-way bet of the day. But let's start with the game tomorrow night. Ravens at Chiefs. Should be a really good second half game. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The first half of these games are always slow, but the second half will pick up. I actually like Ravens in this game.
I don't know. I can't bet against Mahomes. I'm going the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think Super Bowl hangover, celebration hangover, ring ceremony hangover. I think Ravens are, because the Chiefs beat them in the AFC ship to go to the Super Bowl. I think the Ravens are going to be hungry and they're going to get up big, and the Chiefs will come back, but ultimately fall short. That's what I think.
That's fair. I think the Chiefs are going to win a close game. I do think they're going to start off. Both teams are going to start off kind of slow. I think it's going to be like a 23-20 game, something like that.
I'm thinking like 27-23.
Okay.
I'm thinking something like that. All right, next game, which is a Friday night game, which I'm stoked for. Packers technically at Eagles, but the game's in Brazil.
Yeah.
Who do you like and why?
Uh, I like the Eagles. I like the Eagles in a close one because I think their Eagles have a pretty good run D. Their D line's good. They got Devin White, who that linebacker from Tampa's on Philly now.
Oh, really? I did not know about that.
So yeah, I think Josh Jacobs might. I think Josh Jacobs is gonna have a phenomenal year, but I think it might be a struggle in this particular game, and I think they're gonna force Jordan Love to throw, and I don't know if he can keep up with the offensive production on with the Eagles. So I think the Eagles are gonna edge it out.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think neutral site, beginning of the season, Packers are still a young team. Eagles have kind of they lost Kelsey, but they've been there, done that type thing. So I think they're just gonna have that veteran experience to win week one.
Yep, I agree.
Next game, kind of glossing over it, Panthers at Saints. I'll pick Saints because it's the Panthers. Um, that's probably gonna be a gutter battle game.
Yeah, I think. Well, Panthers D probably is terrible. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, I'm going. You gotta go the Saints. You can't
yeah,
trust Carolina.
no, absolutely. Next one is Vikings at Giants. I think Vikings beat the Giants. Giants offense is looking miserable. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I feel like you just got to go Vikings. They have no Hawk, but they got Aaron Jones. Yeah, they have Aaron Jones. Um,
hmm
they lost Kirk Cousins, but there's Sam Darnold, which he's getting a bad rap. But I just think he's been a backup for quite a few years, been on some really good teams. I think he's gonna be much more calm and poised in this game.
yeah, I do think. I think the Vikings are gonna win too, but I think it's gonna be a gutter battle. I mean, Sam Darnold
Yeah,
isn't.
I
He's
think.
not gonna light the world on fire, but
Yeah,
they're gonna beat the Giants.
no, absolutely, I agree with you. Next game, Patriots at Bengals. I hate to say it, probably Bengals. Jamar Chase practiced today in full uniform. So, and then you have the Trent Brown revenge game. I think it's gonna be closer than people think, but I think Bengals win.
I think I think the Bengals win in not a. It'll be like a. I think they're gonna win by 2 touchdowns, whether Jamar plays or
I
not.
think it's gonna be like a 24-10, 24-13 game.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah. Next game, which should be an interesting one, Steelers at Falcons. Let me hear it.
Falcons are gonna win, and they're gonna cover the spread very easily. Russell Wilson's terrible. And then Kirk Cousins is gonna have a really good game.
Okay.
Kyle Pitts or no Kyle Pitts doesn't matter.
Yeah. Fair. Fair. Next next game, Texans Colts. Colts are at home. Who do you like and why?
Houston. I think it's gonna be a closer game than people think. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think Anthony Richardson is gonna throw an interception towards the end of the game, and I think the Texans are gonna pull it out.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, I think this is gonna be the highest scoring game of the week. To be honest with you, I think
hmm
Anthony Richardson will be back and show people like pick up where he left off. But I do think Texans edge it out.
He's gonna have an egregious pick in that game. I know he is.
Who, Richardson or CJ?
Yeah, Richardson.
Yeah, probably.
He only has 17 starts post high school. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, he's an athletic freak. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's gonna like run and stuff.
I think he throws for 175 plus and has 100 rushing yards as well.
That's fair. That's about right. I think
Yeah.
he's gonna have a pick or two as well.
All right. Moving forward to the next game, which I do think is going to also probably be a high scoring game. Cardinals at Bills. I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious the Bills are going to win this one.
I think the Bills are gonna win by a score.
Okay.
It's gonna be a fun game though. But the Bills are.
I think it's a two.
they're gonna take
I think it's a 2-score win.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, and then the next game, which I don't know how to predict, Titans Bears. Bears at home. I think this is going to be kind of an interesting game. It's a revamped Titans team. Bears have the rookie quarterback. I feel like there's going to be a lot of sloppy play, but ultimately, I do think the Bears will eke it out.
I think the Bears will eke it out as well. I think they're gonna.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna win by probably a touchdown.
All right. Next game, which looks closer than what it really is, but I actually think it's gonna be like decided on a halftime game. Jaguars at Dolphins. I just think the Dolphins are just head and shoulders better than the Jaguars. So I think Dolphins easily win this game.
Yep, I think it's gonna be a Miami blowout.
Yeah. Broncos Seahawks. Seahawks are at home. I just think with the veteran experience, and kind of, I mean, the Broncos are such a wild card this year. Are they going to be terrible? Are they going to take a step forward? But I do think Seahawks win this game.
I think the Seahawks win this game. I think the Broncos. I think the Broncos are still going to be really bad this year, but they'll be less insufferable.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. How many wins did they have last
Less
year?
sufferable in this sport.
Yeah, how many wins did the Broncos have last year?
I don't know. That was a boring team. That might have been the most. They might have been the most boring team in football last year. Like
they were 8-9. I think they go 9-8 this year.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, they'll probably be a little better. I'd agree with that.
Next one is the home game. The Raiders versus the Chargers. Chargers are technically the designated home team. I like Raiders in this game.
I like the Chargers. Raiders haven't had a good secondary in years. The lack of weapons for Herbert, I don't think will matter too much. I think the Raiders secondary stinks.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just think the Chargers have too much of an unknown. Like, they're still trying to mesh. I think September is going to be a rough month for the Chargers. Plus, Herbert's injured. I think the Raiders with Minshew Mania are going to, they'll come out hot. How they finish the season, I don't know. But I do think they're gonna. I think the Raiders will win Week 1.
Even with that shitty Raider O-line, I don't know, man.
Gardner can get the ball out fast.
I know.
The Colts did not have a good O-line last year, and Gardner looked electric at times.
Really?
Yeah, Gardner Minshew. There was a couple of weeks he looked really good.
The Colts had a bad. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. I was a Devontae Adams owner, and I watched those QBs behind that O-line, and wasn't pretty.
Yeah, not fair enough. Did you get Dev again, or was that Miano?
Miano, Nick grabbed him.
I was looking at him, and then I saw Nico, and I was like, yeah, I'll go with a younger guy.
Yep.
I just couldn't trust the Raiders. Next game, Cowboys at Browns. Yeah, I think Cowboys easy win.
The Cowboys are actually betting underdogs on DraftKings.
Really?
They're plus 2.5. Yeah, I mean that's because the Browns had an elite D.
Yeah, but also their elite D wasn't really like apparent until like week 5 last year. And if they retained a lot of their people, I feel like it's gonna be the same thing again. The first month of the season, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, they're good defense." And then come like mid-October, you're like, "Damn, the Browns have a good D." Like,
yep.
I think that's what it's gonna become. And it's like I was looking at Browns defense as like a defense to like flip-flop with my Niners defense that I drafted, but I ended up not taking them. But that was a team who I was looking at.
Yeah, I think Dallas ekes it out.
Yeah. Next one, Commanders at Buccaneers. I feel like this is an easy win for the Bucs. Commanders are, they got the rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels, but I feel like they're going to be a dumpster fire team.
You think they're going to be really bad this year?
Yeah, I think they're going to be like a 4-5 win team.
Okay, yeah, I think Tampa Bay wins this game easily. They're only slight favorites.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with the Commanders, they got like Eckler, but like Eckler looked washed last year. Yeah, he did. And then we got our primetime games. Rams at Lions. That will be an amazing game to watch. It's honestly a coin flip. I'm biased because I have Jared Goff in fantasy, so I'm looking for the Lions to win, but I would not be surprised if the Rams win this game. The Rams are kind of a hot mess. I think they fall apart as the season goes on, but I think to start the season, I think they're going to be pretty good to start the season, like the first 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think the Lions are gonna. I think it's gonna be similar to the playoff game. I think the Lions are gonna win a close battle.
Yeah. And then the last one we have is Jets at Niners. I feel like Niners are just gonna pick up where they left off, just keep winning. But I feel like I feel like the Jets will stay in it. They're gonna, I feel like the first half, the first three quarters, it will be a pretty close one. And the Niners will just their defense will step in, shut them down. Just shut them down in the fourth quarter and win like 31-24 or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, I think the Niners win by 2 scores. Who knows how Rodgers is gonna be? He's kind
Yeah,
of a wild card.
but you also have to factor in Brees Hall.
Yeah, that too. Achilles injuries are nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, that's all of week's one matchups. Let's pivot over now. Our bold prediction of the week, our bet of the week, and then our 3-leg parlay. So I'm gonna start with my first bold prediction, which I slightly alluded to in the beginning of during the matchup talks. So the DraftKings app, they need to be able to like keep. I have to every time I click on it, I have to log in, and it's so frustrating. It's like, dude, just keep me logged in.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, my first bold prediction: I think Vikings defense gets 3 turnovers in their game, and one of them is going to be either a fumble 6 or a pick 6. I think Vikings defense has some sort of touchdown this week.
I have a similar one. I think you say Gardner Minshew's gonna start hot. I think the Chargers get a defensive touchdown. I think they get a fumble 6. I think they're gonna get to him because the Raider O-line, as of now, stinks. Maybe it's better than it is because it's a whole new season, but as of now it stinks. I think the Chargers get a defensive touchdown. So that's a bold prediction I have.
Okay, all right, I'll put it in. Chargers defense get defensive touchdown. Let's go with now your bet of the week. Not the parlay, just a singular bet. Could be a part of your leg, or it could just be a completely different bet. What do you like?
I'm gonna go for it. It's gonna burn me bad if Jamar plays. I think T. Higgins overall is gonna have a phenomenal year. I think he scores twice against the Patriots.
Do you know if that bet is like that? Do you know if there's a line for that?
Let me find it.
All right.
Let me find it.
I'm just trying to find
plus 1100. It's bold, but
so was it like over? Was like over
two plus touchdowns. T. Higgins.
And it was plus 1100.
Yes.
All right, because I'm keeping track of these bets, so we can see what the payout would have been at the end of the season.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if we bet $1 on every bet, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah. I'm going bold week 1.
All right, mine is a little bit more, a little bit softer than yours, but Cowboys money line at plus 114.
I like that. I like it.
So that's that. But all right, now we love our parlays. We're from North Shore, Massachusetts. Roast beef sandwich. Have it 3-way. 3-way parlay. Tony, let me hear what your 3-way parlay is.
All right, so betting off my vote of the week, my bet of the week. I have T. Higgins anytime TD score. I have Ramondre Stevenson, 40 plus rushing yards, and Cincinnati Bengals -8 at plus 675.
All right. So T. Higgins anytime, Ramondre 40 plus, and what was the third one?
Bengals -8.
-8, and what was it at?
Plus 675.
Plus 675. That's not bad. All right, you ready for mine? Mine is kind of niche. So Bills. So my first leg is the Bills to win by 7 to 12 points.
Okay.
My second leg is Carolina, New Orleans under 42. And
Okay.
Laporta anytime. And that is plus 1,963.
Oh, damn. That's really good. So it's under 42 and a half.
Under
Okay.
42 and a half for
Okay.
Carolina, New Orleans.
Yep.
Sam Laporta, anytime touchdown.
Yep.
And the Bills are going to beat the Arizona Cardinals. Their margin of victory is going to be
Hmm.
by 7 to 12 points.
That's not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah. So that's what my 3-leg parlay of the day is going to be.
Hell yeah.
All right. And then we're running a little ahead of schedule. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up our matchups. And so I'll pull up your matchup and we can do the compare quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, etc., etc. See which team you like better for.
All
All
right.
right. Why does CD Lamb have a check engine light on?
Yeah.
Do you see that on Yahoo? I'm gonna slide it over. Do you have the? Do you have the?
Yeah, I see it.
You,
Yeah, he's gonna play though. I'm not worried.
like he literally has a check engine light on. That's
Mm.
hilarious. All right, so I'm gonna do I'm gonna do your matchup first, then you can do mine.
Do it.
All right, so your opponent has Josh Allen. You have Kyler Murray. I gotta edge Josh Allen on this one.
Yeah, I mean he was QB1. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Your opponent's got Cooper Kupp and Chris Godwin. You got CD and Olave. Hopefully CD Lamb gets the check engine light figured out. Because if he can get that cleared, then he'll be. And then I'm definitely leaning on your wide receivers.
Yep.
But then your opponent's got Bijan Robinson and Javonte Williams. You got Kenneth
Yep.
Walker and Alvin Kamara. I'm leaning on your running backs over his. He's got Freiermuth, and you have Evan Ingram. I'm leaning on Evan Ingram. He's got Raheem, and you got Keenan Allen in your flex. I like Raheem better in this situation.
Okay.
He's got Tyler Bass at kicker. You got Harrison Butker. I like Harrison Butker better. I feel like Tyler Bass is just going to be going for more PATs, and Butker is probably going to have a couple more field goals. And
That's
then
fair.
he's got Philly D, and you got Chargers D. It's kind of a coin flip, in my personal opinion, but I do lean Los Angeles. I think Bosa will be the difference maker with like a sack or two. So I'm gonna 51-49 lean in Chargers favorite.
Okay, that's fair. Perfectly
All right.
reasonable.
Yeah, and
All right, I got yours up here.
yep.
So the QB matchup is Goff versus Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna go Goff because the Kansas City defense is no joke. So I'm gonna go Goff by a little bit, and just for week 1. We got your receivers are Nico Collins and Debo, and he has Marvin Harrison Jr. and George Pickens. I'm gonna go your receivers at Nico Collins and Debo Samuel. I think your receivers are better than your top 2 receivers are better than his top 2.
Okay.
We got Brees Hall and Aaron Jones, which are yours, versus Saquon Barkley and DeAndre Swift. I'm gonna go yours by a smidge because I just think they're better, even though Brees Hall has a tough matchup.
Yeah.
And the matchup that he has you beat is he has Sam Laporta and you have Njoku.
Yeah.
So I think Laporta is better than Njoku, so he definitely has you there.
I agree with you.
And then Rashee Rice versus DeAndre Hopkins. I'm gonna go Rashee Rice. I think he has more upside than D Hop. Mahomes is a lot better than Will Levis, so
True.
going Rashee. And then kicker, it's a toss-up. It's the San Francisco kicker on Monday night for him, and you have the Miami kicker. I think that's a toss-up. I think it's going to be either way.
Yeah.
And then you have San Francisco D. He has Baltimore, and I think Baltimore is just in a better spot. And no, excuse me. I think San Francisco is just better, and then the Jets aren't as good as the Chiefs. So I'm giving the edge to you.
Okay.
To San Francisco.
Yeah. All right. So relatively, I think it's like You got like what? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it was like 4-3, 5-2 on for both of us. Like
Yep.
we just edged out a little bit. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because honestly, I I almost flip flopped and did Buffalo this week, but I think I'm gonna stick with my guns and do San Fran just because Buffalo might get more turnovers and everything. So that's my only thing. And plus, I have Brees Hall. So it's like
Yeah.
my defense is hurting one of my skill positions, but whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's that. Any other things you want to kind of talk about, point out, call out, prediction? Oh, let's do division winners. I made a pretty gnarly parlay for division winners. Right here. So I have these are all the division winners: Eagles, Packers, Falcons, Niners for the NFC, and then the AFC. I have Dolphins, Bengals, Houston, the Texans, and Chiefs, and that's plus 33,621.
So, can you repeat that again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear all of them.
Eagles, Packers, Falcons, Niners.
Yep.
Kind of chalky, but that's what I'm going with. And then for AFC, it's Dolphins, Bengals, Texans, Chiefs.
I like that a lot. The toughest one's gonna be the AFC North because there's just the Ravens, the Browns, and the Bengals are all good.
Well, that's
gonna be the toughest one.
I just think if Joe Burrow stays healthy this year, they can get it.
That's true. I'd agree with
because they did bolster their offensive line. They brought in 2 guys.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I think. Yep.
And then running back for the Bengals, like they lost Joe Mix, but they got Zach Moss. I feel like it's kind of a wash. So that's my opinion.
That's fair. I think it's a wash too. I think Mixon's a little better, but it won't make that much of a difference.
No, exactly. But yeah, no, that's I think that's what we're gonna call it. A little bit of a shorter one this week, but that's usually how the first one goes. You just try and gotta fill up as much time as you can with just like pre-talk. Next week we'll definitely have a much more concrete schedule. We'll have a lot more to talk about, fantasy wise, betting wise, and everything, because we'll have a week under our belt. But as always, Tony, I appreciate you hopping on.
Yep.
Got to do it for the YouTube. If you're watching this in live time or in the future, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's get this channel. Right now we got 5 subscribers. So by the end of the season, let's get it to 20 subscribers. I think that'd be a feat in itself. Because I did kind of go out on a neck and decided to go YouTube only this year, just for the algorithm purposes. But yeah, let's try and get 3 likes per live stream and get to 20 subscribers by December. I think that'd be an amazing goal to get.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Awesome, dude. Well, thank you for hopping on, and I'll talk to you in the meantime, but I will for simulcast wise, I will see you next Wednesday.
Sounds great. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome, dude. I'll see you later.
All right. See you around.
All right. Peace out, dude.
Later.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. That is going to be it. We are signing off. I will see you next week.